Hi, and welcome to this installment of Frank and Mary here in Northborough. If you haven't seen this show before, my name is Art Bergeron. My day job is as an elder law attorney at Myrick O'Connell, far away in Westborough. But this is not about my day job. It's about my friends Frank and Mary. If you've seen my seminars or presentations, you know that Frank and Mary's goal in life is to live in their house until they die and be buried in the backyard. And if that's Northborough, that means they want to stay right here. They don't want to come to Marlborough where I live. They don't want to go to far away Westborough where they want to go be right there. So the question is, who are the people you need to know? And what are the programs you need to know about in order to stay right there? So with me to find those great people is Liz Tridiak, who has been the Council on Aging, the Senior Center Director and the head of the Council on Aging since the very beginning of the pandemic. So some of you have never seen her, right? But I soon will, right? So you're going to be going to the Senior Center. And she always gets these great guests, but this is really an important show because this is about the place where you want to be hanging around and had prior to the pandemic. So Liz, can we talk about who we've got for guests? Ironically, one of our guests actually had to go. Right. So she's going to be back, but she's like, that's right. So she's in the middle of doing something, right? So Liz, who do we have today and what are we talking about?
Hi, Arthur. Today we have with us Carolyn Harrington from the Bistro at 119, our on-site restaurant here at the Senior Center. And right next to her, that empty space is where Vicki Killeen will be as soon as she's back from the order that just got delivered to the kitchen. So I have been waiting 13 long months to be able to welcome Vicki and Carolyn to the show so I can finally say welcome back to the Bistro and get that back in action. So welcome, Carolyn. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, thanks for having us. We're really excited to be back. It's been a long time.
It's been far too long. So I just wanted to bring you and Vicki on the show to talk about what is new and coming up at the Bistro, since we've had this whole chunk of time where we can kind of reimagine things, get a little bit creative, but then we also have to add on this whole other layer of safety and sanitation and extra caution sprinkled on top. So do you want to talk about the reopening a bit?
Sure, very excited about it. We hope to be opening the end of May. It'll be a slow start. We're going to feel it out and start with to-go orders. We'll also be kind of starting with a barbecue, a chicken barbecue, which will be our big welcome back to everybody. We'll have seats out in the lawn, and we'll also pack up orders to go if people would like, if they're nervous about getting out in public again. But we're very excited to be hosting that. And Vicki and I've been busy prepping for, here she is now, back on the water. We've been busy cooking and preparing for everybody's return, and we just can't wait for it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
It's so exciting. And Arthur, you were here last week. I think you dropped in to say hello, and you missed Carolyn and Vicki, but you should see it in the kitchen right now. They have desserts on the counter getting made and prepped and all kinds of fun things happening back there.
No, you go ahead, because I'm just so curious about, because you did have this year. So I was just going to ask, so what have you guys been doing, right? So I mean, this has been, right, it's been a hard thing, right? And
we have a new menu.
Yeah, we've been working on that. We made some adjustments here and there. It's like starting over again. So yeah, we've been busy. Plus, I'm involved a lot in the community of Northborough, and we, as a committee, run the food pantry at 37 Pierce Street here in Northborough. And what we did last week, we installed a friendly fridge. It's outside of the food pantry, and what that enables people to get free food if the pantry is not open. So what happened was, this lovely lady by the name of Maria Fitzgerald, who runs the Fitzgerald Institute School in Northborough, she put the refrigerator in, and our contact, who is Tim Shea, he is our landlord. He put kind of like in a almost like a little shelter, but the refrigerator and the freezer are exposed to people. And on the fridge, it says, fill it and take it. And it's called Friend Fridge. And they're put out amongst Middlesex and Worcester County. So what we do is we have volunteers to come and they kind of adopt it for the week, fill it up with milk, fresh fruits, vegetables. We can't take any meat because of the Board of Health. So we do frozen meals as long as they're, it's registered of what is in it, and apply it on some kind of a container, an application of what's in it. So that's great. And also the food pantry's been booming. We open Wednesday morning, Thursday night. Wednesday night, I have community meals. At Trinity Church parking lot, we do curbside meals. Liz and Carolyn have helped there. And what we do is we offer meals to about between 115 and 130 residents. They don't have to be from Northborough. And what they do is they come in, we put a meal in their car. And all the restaurants are involved in the town at $5 meals. So we take that out of our funds. So the people in Northborough are very generous in donating money.
But it's free to the customer.
And it's free to the customer, yes.
I see. So it's a $5 meal. So the restaurant folks are really doing the discount to you, and then you're getting contributions.
Correct.
So that you're paying the restaurant people.
Yes, yes. It's done through what we call Helping Hands, which is part of, it's like one big cycle from here to the pantry to community meals to, it's just one big cycle here from the senior center. Because a lot of our guests, take that for meals. So that's great.
I have to say, Arthur, that Northborough is just one of the most food secure communities that I've come across. Like Vicki just said, it's like you have Bay Path's Meals on Wheels 5 days a week, cold meals for the weekends. You have community meals. You have the Senior Center Bistro. You have the food fridge, the food pantry. If you need a meal in Northborough, there are so many options. Like I get chills thinking about it because it's just the community has to come together in such a way that the needs are just met from so many different angles. It's just incredible. And these two ladies, they've been busy this whole pandemic.
Right.
Like they're not sitting at home relaxing, watching TV the whole time. They've been out there in the community just volunteering and just being involved in so many different things. So I'm so happy.
Right.
That you're on our team here.
Grateful. The gratefulness of the people is amazing. If you could stand there on a Wednesday night and watch us put food in their cars, they are just in pouring rain. We've been through the snow. We've been through the ice. They still come, and they're just so grateful that we do that.
But
Carolyn, go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's this I think it's actually an Arab expression, giving honors the giver. So that it really is an expression of the fact that people are stepping up, because they realize this is a really, really important thing. This is just a really important thing. Right. That's just so have those numbers, how have those numbers changed as the pandemic has progressed, and how do you think that this and obviously you've been involved for a long time. Right. How do you think that's going to play out now over for the rest of this year, say? As things open up?
Well, when we started community meals, we had, we'll say, I think last July, let's do 35 or 40 meals. Yeah. So it has progressed to 130. Wow. So that'll tell you there. Food pantry has been wonderful because we have gotten so much donation for food that we were overwhelmed with what we have. And we also started a food pantry at the American Legion in Northborough. So that's another thing. I think we have another order.
They just came back.
Yeah. We wanted to check.
Okay. The delivery truck came back. Excuse me.
I think you got to drop something off. Yeah, so we started a food pantry up at the American Legion in Northborough for all the veterans. And Junior Women's Club put up a bookcase. So they can get books for exchange because our library is now open, but it's been closed for a long time. So little things like that have progressed through the year. So to answer your question, how did we stay busy? That's how we stayed busy. Yeah. And Carolyn, she is amazing on the computer, right, Liz? She does all these little fancy things. I'm a hands-on girl. Give me something to do, and I can do it. But go to that computer. No. have a hard time with that.
See, I'm in awe
Can't
of
be
both
bothered.
because I can't do either one of those two things. I can't
Oh,
do
yeah.
the computer and I can't do anything hands-on.
Yeah.
This is really kind of embarrassing. You know, I remember my folks saying that, you know, you're one of those kids that in the Middle Ages, back when you actually had to know how to do something, they would have left you out in the cold to die, you know, when you're just, you know, so but I'm just in awe. But it's obvious that the two of you work well as a team.
Oh, we are. We're like one. And we agree on everything because we have such good ideas, you know. We work off each other, and it's the best thing that ever happened to the bistro. And she came 3 years ago, and it made my life a lot easier because it was really, really hard before being just one person.
Liz, can I just ask one other question about the fridge? I've never heard of that before. That's the most wonderful thing.
Yeah,
cool.
the friendly fridge is amazing, and we're trying to get one in Marlborough at your food pantry in Marlborough.
Yeah.
Because I run our Father's Table on Monday and Thursday nights. We bring food to the Brazilian at the Brazilian church next to the Masons there.
Yeah, my wife works at our Father's Table when it's the Immaculate Conception night.
Yes, right. I've seen her. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes. So it's a great place too. So I hope it just progresses as friend fridge. Yeah, it will. It will.
That's such a good idea.
It is.
You know, that's the
Simple
thing.
idea. Simple idea.
It's a people idea. That's right. And you know, and I always tell people money follows good ideas, you know. An idea like that, you know, then to get the equipment and stuff, you got to get it. But it's such a good idea that you could see people going, "Oh, that's really good," you know, because it's very hands-on and very no middlemen, you know.
Yeah. And it's great. Like if you needed a gallon of milk on the weekends for the kids and you don't have the money to get it, hopefully it'll be there at the friend fridge.
So is this also as a solicitation to volunteers who would be willing to volunteer for a week?
Yes.
Right? To kind of
you would adopt the fridge for the week.
You adopt the fridge.
Maybe $100 or $200 depending what you want to put in it.
Right.
But it's great. Like we put in eggs and cheese and yogurt and bread, you know, the staples. And then I noticed the other day someone had put some fresh vegetables and fruit, ice cream in the freezer, bread in the freezer. You can just take a loaf of bread out. Yeah, it's really a nice concept, I think, anyway.
Yeah,
help the town.
There's this coffee cherry Coke that Liz said she's got a large, but we won't go there, a large quantity of. She'd probably love to donate it. But
I'm not going to show.
We won't go there.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is just so exciting, and I'm so happy to be talking to you. I did want to just bring up our chicken barbecue, Vicki,
Yes.
on June 8th. It's our Welcome Back Bistro barbecue. Carolyn mentioned it a little bit, but do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're preparing and thinking?
Yes, what we're going to do is a half a chicken. Carolyn is going to make her broccoli salad and her famous potato salad, and I will cook and barbecue the chickens, a nice roll in butter, and fresh strawberries and shortcake for dessert. It's a $10 donation to the senior center, and I guess you can call and get them, right, Liz?
Yep.
For June 8th. Now you can picnic outside, or we can do curbside, whatever's good. We'll put utensils in the bag, and I think it's going to be lovely. We've done it in the past and here, of course. So we have 100 tickets out. So we're hoping we sell out.
And when you say you can picnic outside, is there any? No, I'm not familiar with the layout outside. Are there any benches there, or do
benches? There's tables, there's umbrellas. Liz just bought some nice tables and chairs as well. Or they can take it home, depending on the weather.
Yeah.
You know,
We
and
do have a rain date. We have a rain date for Wednesday, the 9th.
Right.
And you've talked about how you use this time to kind of conceptualize the bistro.
Correct.
So is this part of that? Are you anticipating kind of in the longer run that this is really going to lead to more like outdoor dining and more people doing picnic stuff? And how are you thinking about how this is changing? Because you guys are so. Have you folks known are you like twins separated at birth, or
Well,
have
thank
you
you.
known each other
quite
for
bit
a
older.
long
I'm like
time?
her second mom.
Yes.
We love mangoes together, so she called me Mama Mango.
That's
We're
great.
very close, yes.
Actually,
So-
it's my daughter's friend, but I befriended her as well.
Oh, well, and it's obviously she's befriended you also.
Yes,
A
yes.
spare mom, a spare mom.
We're two peas in a pod, yeah.
Correct. And we both love to cook. Her
So-
desserts, anything in food.
So tell us about, once again, you expecting more outdoor stuff? What else, how are you? Because what's been, as I said at the beginning, what's been magic about the bistro is that it's transformed. I shouldn't say it's transformed. I think it was always there. I think one of the things that Kelly Burke really brought to this initially was this real vision that the bistro, that space, and that not just the space, but actually having food in this welcoming environment was going to make this just literally every senior's destination. It's like, oh, well, I'll just meet you at the bistro, as opposed to it, as opposed to it being more, you're only going for programs and stuff. And it just seems, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I think a lot of it will, once we start up again with classes, a lot of people like to attend classes and then come to the bistro either before or after. So once we're up and running again with classes, we hope that really won't change all that much. But yes, I mean, there will be more options outside for eating now that Liz got furniture. And if people want to, worried about eating in the dining area just yet, there is that nice option to eat outside and gather outside.
Because I suppose this is an interesting. It's part of a more of a general problem. Societally, how are we going to adapt to some people? People have different feelings about this. People have feelings about maybe I want to continue wearing a mask because I know that the vaccine is 80% effective, but that means the bad news is 20% of people still get sick. So maybe it still worries me, or maybe I'm totally comfortable with this. And how do we mix and match, especially in an environment like a public building, the senior center, where there are real constraints on any kind of controls in any of this, So it's a real interesting problem.
Well, we've limited the tables in the bistro. We've limited the chairs. We wipe everything down. We're really in protocol. We're right up there. Hand sanitizers, taking your temp, wearing your masks in, social distancing. And of course, the kitchen is immaculate. So, we've really tried. We really try to do. We have some great volunteers that will, know the protocol, and
But
we'll keep it as safe.
We plan to start off slow,
Yeah.
and kind of ease into it, and and hopefully, eventually, we'll be back in full swing again.
We kept it open until almost the middle of April last year with curbside. Our last big meal was St. Patrick's Day. And after that, we did curbside, and it went okay. Then, really things started to close up. So we obviously had to close due to the fact that food costs are expensive and we didn't want to order things and have it go to waste. So I think that's how we're going to do it the same way, open softly, order a few things at a time so that we don't have to throw anything away. We, like Carolyn, I think told you, we've done lasagnas and meatballs, and she's cooking roast pork, for Cuban sandwiches. We're doing desserts, big stuffed potatoes. All those things can be frozen. So God forbid if something does happen, the freezer is full and we're ready whenever we can. So that's how we have to look at it.
So just one other question. I'm sorry to be talking so much here, but this is really an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing what you guys, with what you're all doing there. So are the dull men coming back soon? I remember.
Well, you have to ask Liz about that.
They haven't stopped meeting, Arthur.
They haven't stopped?
No, they've met through the
Okay.
entire winter outside in the parking lot.
Dull but dynamic, this group.
Yes.
Dull but dynamic. They've been in the parking lot?
That's how you look at that, Arthur.
Because they clearly love it, right? I mean, remember when we interviewed one of those, it was like, what a wonderful idea, right? And I just love the name. I guess my favorite part of the Dull Men was the fact that there's no president. It's like everybody, it reminds me of when I was a little kid and we had a club and everybody was like the officer, like the head of is like the assistant vice president or something. And everybody's an assistant vice president. There's no president. It's just wonderful.
They're a
But
fun group.
But they talked about how what was really special is they could have these meetings and then they'd adjourn for lunch, that they were just kind of because
yeah.
once again, it was the effect of the bistro. It's the effect of the bistro. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think cafes are the new hot thing in the senior center world. Bistros and cafes and even coffee bars lately. I think I've seen in the discussion groups on the directors forums. That's the next big thing. So I feel like we're a little bit ahead of the curve here with our bistro, and our Tuesday night dinners will be on hold for a while. We're just doing lunch service Monday through Thursday, but Carolyn earlier was talking about doing dessert specials and really fun things to keep it fresh, and kind of replace what we're missing with that dinner. So I'm really excited about our future, and I think we're headed down a good path.
That's headed down a really good path,
Yeah.
right? And so Liz, just to kind of complement that conversation, for folks who are kind of watching, when for the dull men or for anybody else, how are you imagining that piece of the rollout, or has that changed at all? What are you thinking over the next few months? Because obviously the bistro, this is really this is big news. This is like 3 weeks or something, and they're going to be
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming up fast. I
Yeah.
keep saying this here in the office, but this summer the rules are changing week to week. It's fast and furious with how the state is reopening, the reopening plans, the phases. So starting next week here inside the senior center, we're allowing some of our smaller classes back inside. So starting Monday the 17th. So people are actually coming back into the building. The bistro is opening May 24th. We'll have 10 tables indoors for people to sit at, and we'll encourage people to sit outside. But from now until early summer, we're on the track of reopening as long as the world cooperates with us.
Right. As long as the world cooperates.
Yes.
Right. So are you guys figuring you're gonna need some more staff pretty soon? It sounds like
That's always
That's kind of a touchy question.
for the
We have
volume.
We have nothing to do with that, unfortunately. We'll drop it at that.
Yeah.
For us,
Hey,
anyway.
but-
Liz can expound on that.
But once again, one of the nice things from you've got is that you've got that wonderful friends group, right?
Mhm.
And I just and I remember once again early on talking to Kelly Burke about how the friends group was so instrumental because they fronted the money, they fronted the initial to basically to get it running. I mean, it's the same challenge that all small businesses face, right? Is that initial capital, just to actually prove the concept and see if it works, So it's wonderful that you continue to have all of that, right?
Right.
And great volunteers.
Yes.
And great volunteers.
We couldn't
And so
do it without them.
so folks, as we close the show, I'm just curious, are you looking for more volunteers? Because obviously there's a lot of work to do, but how do you think that's going to play out?
Well, we're not looking for more volunteers yet, because, we have a lot of wonderful volunteers pre-pandemic that are looking forward to coming back and helping. So since it's going to be a slow opening and we're going to just ease into it, we'll gradually add volunteers as needed. And then we always put word out if it grows to a greater need.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
But we
So
couldn't
Liz-
do it without them.
Couldn't do it with. So Liz, I can see why you wanted these folks on, right? I mean, they're like a great comedy team with a great message.
Sick and higher for hire.
This is really important stuff. So Liz, thanks a million for this. Ladies, thank you so much both for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Good luck to the three of you. You can just kind of sense, even though it's Zoom, you can sense the energy in the room. You can sense people really pumped up about this really being a great, and people are so up for a good summer. After last year, where everybody's so ready for a good summer. So thank you very much. Liz, thanks once again for these great people that you bring on. And thanks for everything you're doing. This is just it's a wonderful thing. So folks, go have a chicken dinner. Get to see some folks. Wear your mask.
$10.
If you figure all that out, don't get sick anymore. There's going to be a great summer. So thank you all. Thank you for watching, and we're looking forward to seeing you on the next installment of Frank and Mary here in Northborough. Thank you very much.